I'm speaking with Bill Branson, the owner of a company that makes the super oxygenated silver water. Now, Bill, my question is this. A lot of people talk about silver and the healing properties of silver, and I know that that's an important part of your water, but can you tell me where the oxygenation really comes in and how it plays a role in what your water will do?
Yeah, well, see, most water products that has silver in them have no oxygen value whatsoever. And through the process we use, we actually are eliminating hydrogen out. That allows the oxygen to actually attach. It's a covalent bond, actually attached to the silver particles. Nobody else is doing this. And we put a negative charge on that little particle of silver. And that silver will travel in your bloodstream, drawn to parasitic cells that are the opposite charge. They're drawn together like magnets. And people always ask, well, then if you're killing bacteria, then what about our gut flora? Well, it has the same charge. It is a like charge. It's repelled away.
Just like magnets are repelled away.
Exactly. So we don't harm the gut. I've been personally drinking this every day for over 12 years, and I don't get sick. It's just got my immune system as high as it will go.
Can you tell me the difference between the size of your silver molecule as compared to like colloidal silver?
Well, we've had ours measured. It is, of course, not every particle is the same size, but it's between 9 and 30 nanometers. And the place I went to have it measured were quite surprised. In fact, they'd never seen silver that small. Now, colloidal silver, of course, is not going to be that small, and it will actually stick in your fatty tissue in your body, and you can actually build up heavy metals in your body. And most colloidal silver is like 10 parts per million and goes up. And the water I produce is actually below 1 part per million. It's actually measured in parts per billion, and there's no other silver product that's doing that.
So it travels through the body and works its magic, but it doesn't cling and stay in the body.
That's right.
Is it passed?
Yeah, it will only stay in your body a little over 1 day, and so we recommend people drink this every day, somewhere between 1 and 2 ounces per day. We have them dilute it in a volume of water, let's say a quart, and it's highly concentrated when people get it. And we want to make it as concentrated as possible. It's heavy to mail something heavy, and so we want people to get it as strong as possible so when we do reduce it, it lasts longer.
So the silver is very beneficial for the bacteria action and killing infections and bacteria and that type of stuff. But the oxygen, tell me what the oxygen does.
Yeah, well, it's the like a double whammy. You know, you have the silver in there. The silver actually carries the oxygen molecules, multiple. We can't get a scientist to tell us how many, but it could be hundreds of oxygen molecules attached to this tiny little particle. And so when it gets to the parasitic cell, there are electrons that are around the silver. Let's just say, for example, cancer cells, they want the power of that electron, and they pull it in. It bonds. The oxygen is like a Trojan horse. They don't know it's there. The cell explodes. It actually pops on contact with that oxygen. And this little cluster is back in your bloodstream, going on, finding the next one. And you're just popping those cells. And so it's a term called hypoxic when your cells lack oxygen. And that allows cancer to really expand. When they get on this water, those cells have more oxygen now. It works two ways.
So it's very beneficial for those people who have that type of condition to help their overall oxygenation in their body with other processes they may be utilizing at that point in time.
Yeah, they could be hypoxic and not have cancer, but other diseases.
Right.
And it works the same, we found, with just about any kind of a disease.
All right, so let me ask you, a person would drink a couple ounces of this a day in their water. What about their puppies, or if they're horse people, what about if they wanted to treat their horses for a problem that they were having, or their dogs?
Back in our early days, we started dogs, cats, and horses. And of course, we had no idea what the dosage should be, and we just kind of play with it, but you can't overdose on this. But it takes very little, and just a cap in your dog's dish, is enough. And you might even do that just every other day. It depends how much water your dog's
and
consuming.
So a capful for your dog, regardless of the size, I presume?
Really, it is. And even a horse would have 7 times the volume of blood.
Right.
And really doesn't take that much more than a human.
So
to treat
a couple
horse.
ounces in the drinking water of your horse daily would be
Does the
very
same thing,
beneficial
yeah.
to help keep the horse oxygenated and healthier.
Absolutely. Water out of a stream or a lake, put a little of this in there, in 30 minutes, all the bacteria is dead, and it's safe to drink the water. So it's really popular among preppers because the shelf life is so long. So far, our tests show the shelf life is at least 15 years, where this water has not changed at all. Our silver has stayed in suspension, and that's kind of another big difference between it and colloidal. Colloidal, so all your silver goes to the bottom in about 3 days. Well, here we have a similar product with silver in it that has not gone to the bottom in 15 years.
So let me ask you, so you talk about trappers and where you can use it to help clean, I guess, drinking water out of a stream or something like that. What about a topical application? If I cut myself, if my dog has a cut, if my horse has a cut, tell me about topically.
It absolutely works topically, and that's more the silver side of it. The oxygen is really what makes it work inside the body. Now, everybody has heard silver will kill, I believe it's 650 pathogens. But those pathogens better be on your body or in a petri dish, because if they're inside your body, colloidal silver won't get to them. It just won't get to them. So what we've got here is an absolute delivery system. We deliver the oxygen right where it's needed.
So the silver is a very important part of the delivery system of the oxygen internally.
It is the dolly.
And there you go.
It is the dolly.
Externally, the silver is there to do its job topically, should you want to use it as a topical type of
any kind of. I've had people with rashes, can't get rid of a rash, or an itchy scalp of some type. Just a few days is all it takes topically.
So if I were to spray that facially, it's going to help the oxygenation of my face.
Oh, absolutely.
To help the appearance potentially, and that type of thing. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it will keep things at bay by using it every day. You can put it up your nose, eliminate sinus infections. I've had people put it in their eyes.
Certainly pink eye or anything like that.
Oh, absolutely. Quite easy. We were talking about using it for eye infections, sinus infections, earaches, anything dental. I've seen it tighten the gums, and people can actually chew their food better and easier. Takes the inflammation out of the gums very quickly, within a matter of a few days.
So with regard to that, someone's making this into a drinking mixture that they're drinking through the day, so they could also use it through the day as a wash for their mouth.
Absolutely.
Certainly they're drinking it, but just make sure they flush it around and wash it around, and it's going to help the overall gum situation. Or
Absolutely, and some people actually use it without dilution in their mouth, and the goal is to hold it in your mouth as long as you can, and hopefully at least 30 minutes. and you can hold it right where you've got an infected tooth. Just hold it on that side. Abscessed tooth, the pain from that gone in an hour or so. Just incredible.
So in that type of situation, you would use it direct. You wouldn't necessarily no dilution, but put it in your mouth, hold it for as long as you can, swish it around, hold it where you have the issue, and it'll give you some relief. That's spectacular. I mean, you
Absolute
can just,
relief.
I'm sure we could go on for the next hour talking about different applications that it's been used for and different testimonials.
Well, let's go on. How else?
So give us another one. Give us a testimonial that you've received.
What about douching?
Well, douching is a very good thing to do with it, and a lot of people take coffee enemas, and we ask them eliminate the coffee, put this in its place, and do all sorts of good inside the body. I have a professor in Israel that uses this water for a process where they eliminate a toxic situation of the stomach, and they pump the stomach out, they pump my water in, they hold it in there for 30 minutes or so, pump it back out. It's a one-time thing. So there are just so many uses.
Well, listen, Bill, thank you so much. And we'll do this again. We'll talk some more, or perhaps we'll do a webinar where we can get people on. They can ask their questions live on the webinar. That's a great idea. And in fact, we'll try to arrange that quickly. So,
fine.
Bill Branson, founder of the company that makes the super oxygenated silver water that we're using and others are using, and we thank you very much for your contribution to health.
You're welcome. Thank you.